AEW Dynasty is this Sunday, and if what's being said is true, we can expect to see two major returns to the company. We'll get into that as we get into our predictions, but we are doing a watch along as well. To channel members, we will be in Discord chilling with everybody talking about the show as it's going along. So if you want to be a part of it, make sure you click that membership button. I think that's how it works, and then join us on Sunday as the show goes down. Now let's get into these predictions. Starting off with our first match, we can't start off too strong. We're going to start with Adam Copeland. We're not going to go edge on y'all today. Adam
Oh,
Copeland
come on.
and the House of Black going head to head. Kiddo, who do you got for this match?
I thought I was going to say House of Black because I thought they were out of there, but Real Take Wrestling shout out. He said they still got contracts. At least Mr. Black has a contract until 2027, basically. Oh, my God. Okay, so because it's a tag team match, I think they're going to cheat, and the House of Black do what they always do. They will win.
Yes, and I was on Matt's stream earlier today. Shout out to a symbol, and he was saying the feud should be just Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black, and I think that's 100% true. I think we need to get these other guys out of the way. Maybe House of Black does take this, and then that makes Adam Copeland go against Malachi Black based on whatever happens in this match. So that's what I want to see here as well. I'm going House of Black as well. Brian?
Man, I think I'm gonna have to go House of Black as well. I think they need the win right now desperately, and this is right now a team that Adam Copeland can help put over and not take the pin. So I think that this is a W. I think for House of Black for sure.
All right. Well, let's go ahead to the next match, and I'm just going to be jumping around this thing. Let's go to Will Osprey versus Bryan Danielson. I think there's only one clear winner here, so I'm going to just go ahead and say it up front. I think this feud could have been stronger, though. I don't know why we're just jumping into it after a few promos back and forth. I think these guys should have been going head-to-head on Dynamite because Bryan Danielson, he's been on Collision, but he's a really big star for AEW, so I think they need to push him on to Dynamite, give him an actual feud with Will Osprey, and this match could have meant a lot more. It's going to be a banger, don't get me wrong, but I just think it could have been even bigger than it is right now. I'm going with Will Osprey for the win. He's the new guy. I don't think he needs to be taking any losses because he needs to be on the path to the AEW championship. Brian, what do you think?
Man, listen, I think Will Osprey needs to win this match. Bryan Danielson has been putting people over, even though I would like if Bryan Danielson walked away with the win and then we got Will Osprey and Bryan Danielson again. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? Will Osprey needs to take this W, at least right now in this very moment. He's been undefeated, I think, since he came to AEW.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hey man, you got to keep him undefeated, and this would be a big win to really solidify who he is towards the casuals and people who don't really know Will Osprey.
Yeah,
I mean,
and because they didn't have the strongest feud, if you want to keep this thing going, I think you end it in like the time limit draw. AEW pulls that trick out of their hat every now and then, and they don't do it too often. So I wouldn't mind if it happened here. Kiddo, what do you got?
I mean, Danielson is either he's the last guy to do it or he's one of the last guys to do the timeout finish with Kenny Omega anyways. And look, Will Ospreay is not only he's a newcomer, but he's gonna be your future world champion, you know? He's no ordinary newcomer right here. So you definitely have to protect the hell out of him. And I personally don't see Bryan Danielson and this rivalry continuing because I think Danielson is on borrowed time. He is gonna stop wrestling full time quite soon. So as many matches with as many different opponents he can get. I think that's his philosophy. He just wants to wrestle everybody before he hangs the boots, have the most fun. And so I think this is going to be a one-on-one with Osprey. That's why I think Osprey is taking this 100%. But it's going to be a banger, like you said, Kenny.
Banger, absolutely. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okada versus Pac. Again, not a big build behind this one, but apparently they have been building it up on Collision, and Collision kind of slips my mind a whole lot. But Okada's first pay-per-view match. Kato, I know you watch a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling and you are super familiar with Okada. Do you think this one's going to be a banger? I know Pat can bring it, but I'm not too huge on Okada matches. I only know about his stuff with Kenny Omega. So what can we expect from here?
Man, in a vacuum, like it really depends on where it is in the card too. Like, because if it's at the very beginning, say this is the opening match, they might go out there, kill it. If it's right before the main event, like Okada is always going to have a good match, but it's not going to be memorable. Such was the case with, Bryan Danielson. So this is a really coin toss, to be honest with you. Pac, like I would say he's going to kill this thing, but Pac has been really consistent as well. Showing up, then being missing for the entire year. So there is potential to be for this match to be the best of the night even. So like keep your expectations high, but not that much. You know what I mean? This is gonna
Yeah.
be perhaps the second or the third best match of the night with Okada, who's a brand new champion that was crowned. He's relatively new, just like Osprey too. Came in almost around the same time, so Okada has to take this one.
I think so too. I think Okada has to take this, even though Pac's been going under a little bit, but he's been gone for a long time too.
Yeah.
Okada's the project right now, so I think him and Will Ospreay, all these two stars, you need to build up and make them go head to head at some point down the line. Brian, are you familiar with Okada's stuff in New Japan?
Not all the way. I've seen some of his stuff, but not really. I didn't follow it.
Okay, so this match is going to be a banger. I can tell you that already. But who do you got for the win?
I got Okada, man. I mean, this is his second title defense on pay-per-view. This is the first time he's taken it to a pay-per-view. Okada wins this match. I got Okada holding this for a good couple of months, maybe even a year, because this is a new title. You got to make it mean something. So I think Okada takes this one.
It's a new title, man, but I'll tell you what, they got too many. When I'm looking at this graphic, I feel like everybody's got a championship, and I don't even think that. I think they do.
Yeah,
I think everybody
except Will
got
Osprey and Bryan. Except Will Osprey
Yo,
and Bryan.
that is insane.
Yeah.
We gotta get the title situation together in AEW. But let's go ahead and finish up this side of the card because I think this is the first possible place we see one of the big returns. We got Kyle O'Reilly versus Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly's pay-per-view return. He's been coming back looking kind of rough, but I understand he's been having some sickness and stuff going on. So I'm glad to see him actually back in this in the AEW ring. Hopefully everything goes well with this match. These guys know each other very well, so I think they're going to put on a banger too. So pretty much the card's full of bangers. I got Roderick Strong taking the win, unless somebody interferes and costs him his championship. Kiro, what do you think?
I'm going to go with a simple reasoning too, just because Roderick Strong took that championship that he's holding for this match in the last pay-per-view. It's just been, a month or two. And so I think they're going to continue that momentum. And he's been on a more of a serious uprise anyways, as far as his character goes. I like the new look, honestly, and he's always been perfect in the matches. He doesn't need that new character, but regardless of what he needs, I think he's beating Kyle O'Reilly here, which kind of feels like Kenny Omega to me right now with him missing. He has the long hair. He's kind of also beat up as far as his health goes, and he does wear like the Kenny Omega clothes and stuff like that. But yeah, this is going to be a good match. These guys are great friends, and I think they're going to try to, as much as they can, put it all on the line and show us something entertaining. And do you think, I don't know, I'll throw it to you, Brian, do you think there's going to be any returns in this match? One of the returns we were talking about.
I really doubt that there's going to be any returns in this match, even though I would love to see the potential return of possibly MJF. But I just don't think it happens in this match. I think that this is it's just not the moment.
Right.
I think there can be a better setup moment in this, and it's just not the moment to me right now. But I definitely think that Roderick Strong comes out strong, no pun intended, and he needs to get this win. So I
think it's possible. I think it's possibly where we see MJF return, just because if we look at where he went out and then we saw the devil stuff, and you know what? But it's tough though because Adam Cole is still not ready.
Yeah.
Adam Cole is still not ready, but do you hold MJF back just because Adam Cole's not ready? I say this may be the perfect spot just because Adam Cole is out, and if you want to wait until he's ready, you can have MJF come back and take down these guys one by one. Have him come back, start with Roderick Strong, you beat him, push him to the side. Now Wardlow comes back from whatever hole he's hiding in, then you do MJF and Wardlow again, MJF takes him out. The tag team guys, what is it, Undisputed Kingdom? I don't know the tag team's names, whatever. Drop those guys out again like you did before, and then hopefully by the time he's done with all of that, you got Adam Cole, and then you got your big money feud. Adam Cole's return, MJF, and I think that would be the perfect way to get there just because they left it off with this devil angle. Anything else y'all got for this match or MJF's return? Should he return here or in the World Championship match? Where would y'all slot him in if he does come back?
Oh, man, I got to go with the main event, honestly, because it is the main event. Like him returning in the kind of middle of the card would feel weird, right? Because we then have the rest of the night to go on, and those guys are going to have to work extra hard. And honestly, I'm thinking about like, what about, who was someone heavily rumored to be the actual devil before Adam Cole? Like, what about, Mr. Jungle Boy, the scapegoat? Want a devil? that can walk. There you go.
You know what? That takes us to our next match. We got the Young Bucks and FTR going head to head again. Now, you say Jack Perry. Now, I think it's highly likely Jack Perry returns here. Why? Because Tony Khan in the interview pretty much said he was going to return. He said, after we played that footage, you saw the big response Jack Perry got in Chicago. It was like a superstar response he got. And Jack Perry being a superstar, you put him in there with Anna Jay, who was one of the hottest women in the world. He said something like that, which is kind of crazy to say about one of your employees, but he said it. So it sounds like they're going to bring Jungle Boy back out here, and they're going to pair him with Anna Jay. And with him carrying this heel scapegoat character, I think he can get massive heat. But if they bring him back, he has to either come out to Cry Me a River. And I know that song is kind of soft, but there's some parts where you could chop it up together and make it sound like a good intro music.
Yeah.
Or he's got to come out to Cult of Personality. If you want that monster heat, you gotta buy Cult of Personality if you still don't have the rights to it, and you gotta make him come out to that. Boom, that's gonna make that man a superstar. But for this match, I think the Young Bucks is definitely going to take it, and they need it more since they are being built up.
This brother tripping, man.
Come on, I'm tripping. What you got, Brian?
Bruh, listen, man. I listen. I 1000% agree. I think Jack Perry is coming this match, but you do not have that man come out to another man's theme song, dog. And yes, the Young Bucks are going to win this match. FTR is going to get screwed because I'll just say it like this: if Jack Perry does not come out this match, the Young Bucks and Tony Khan just wanted to play the CM Punk footage for a rating pop. Nothing else. None of that storyline stuff. None of that. It just wouldn't make sense if Jack Perry does not come out during this match.
Yeah, and you can make it look like the Young Bucks are trying to manipulate him, just like they tried to manipulate us by saying FTR was probably the reason this whole thing happened. They can probably try to poison FTR's mind like, yo, FTR, or Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, FTR caused this whole situation, and he comes out because he doesn't like what happened. So you could tie him into this whole storyline. What do you think, kiddo?
It does need to come up with the Crimea River, yeah. If it was Cult of Personality, it'd be them playing the footage all over again. It would backfire on them, I think, heavily once more, and they don't need it at this stage. Jungle Boy, man, yeah. Like, this match needs something like that because the build-up was kind of butchered because of that angle. So we would just talk about it in a more, I think, positive way. And here's the thing. Yeah, Jungle Boy ripped up the contract, but that was, New Japan Television or whatever. Like, we have no official news of Jungle Boy actually being on any type of terms with AEW. We just heard some, news about him not being able to talk to Tony Khan that much, but that's about it. So I think he's actually gonna return too. Like, it feels like, how MJF left back in the day after calling Tony a mark. Feels like kind of the similar situation in my humble opinion. So we will see him back, and he's gonna cost FTR here. Young Bucks are winning regardless, man. They got too much power anyways.
Yeah. But they haven't been using that power, bro, because they buried themselves since this company came together. So I think now is the time they try to build themselves up, and they absolutely need to.
Yeah.
But I actually would love to see Jack Perry come back more than I would love to see MJF come back. So that's what I really want to see at AEW Dynasty. We'll see if they make it happen. Now, the next match we have on the list is the women's match. We have Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. And Thunder Rosa seems to be the popular opinion here, but I think Toni Storm's on fire, and I don't think you want to take it from Toni Storm right now. She needs to go on a monster Roman Reigns style run with this women's championship, because I think she's been killing it, and I don't think she's cooled down since she picked up this gimmick. So, Kiddo, what do you think?
I think that Toni Storm is not only the greatest women's wrestler in the AEW, but she's one of the best things going in AEW, regardless of what category you want to put it on. So I think Toni keeps it, like you said. I really liked it when you said a Roman Reigns type of run. Hell yeah, dude. I will watch. I will watch the whole way through.
All right, Brian.
Man, listen. I think Toni Storm got to take this W. Thunder Rosa is not it.
Ooh. Oh.
I like her. She had a really good banger match with Britt Baker, but we won't get into that. But Toni Storm's definitely the star here who needs to keep it going. Now, my main event of the night. Somebody said Willow Nightingale was injured. I don't think that's true, but I didn't confirm or deny. Hopefully it sticks. So we got Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. And y'all, listen, I am very afraid of this match because I am like 90% sure Julia Hart takes the fall here, and I really want her to walk out with that championship. So I'm going to go Julia Hart in this. Just to go with my Julia Hart. Kiddo, who wins this match?
Oh, man, I share the same feelings. I just like Julia where she's at. And I think she needs it more than Willow Nightingale does because she can go ahead and feud with Mercedes Monet, who's not been putting in a championship performance regardless. So have your own feud there, build up a story there. You don't need the title for that. You don't need to step over Julia Hart to do that. In fact, if she won here again, she would look like more of a star. It would be better for her.
I don't know,
So I'm
man.
going
When
with
she
Julia.
was the moaning was kind of a championship performance, to be honest. But Brian, what do you
Listen.
think?
I mean, let's be honest, bro. Every match has been pretty much very predictable in this card, in my opinion. I mean, you can kind of tell who's going to win and whatnot. I got to change my opinion from Omer's show, man. I think Julia does walk away in this match. I think that's gonna be the one of the matches that we kind of like. Oh, Willow wins this one, but nope, it goes right back, stays on Julia Hart, and honestly, based on what happened with Mercedes being attacked last week on Dynamite, you can kind of play this into a storyline, and there's no title needed, in my opinion. You can
Yeah.
kind of have her get exposed with maybe some security footage cameras or something like that. AEW likes that. So, hey man, I think it would be I think it could be a good one without the title.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't say the card is predictable though. Because Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa can go either way.
Not
Adam
with the
Copeland
security,
and House
man.
of Black can go either way. Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly can go either way. But
What about
of course, Will Osprey and Okada, those are your new guys, so they gotta win.
the
So I
main
wouldn't
event
say
though?
it's super predictable.
Fair enough.
And
But
The
then
main
the
event
main
is
event.
also
The main event, we got Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. We look at what happened on the last one. We thought either Hangman or Swerve was going to walk out. So I don't think it's 100% solid here that Swerve is going to walk out with this championship. I think it's likely, though. So my prediction for this one, is this going to be a banger match? Honestly, I don't know. Swerve has been putting in some bangers, but he's in there with Samoa Joe this time. So we'll see how that goes. But I think Swerve comes out with the win. I know you boys are Samoa Joe fans. What do y'all think?
we like him. I like Samoa Joe, but it is time, my boy, crown that brother Swerve because I am excited to see a Swerve title run, and I think you pulled the trigger right now, man. I mean, Samoa Joe, you know what I'm saying? He carried the company for a bit, but it's that time to hand the title back, man.
One
Kiddo?
thing that's holding me back from guessing is, all right, Swerve wins. He has the title. Who's he facing off against? Because it's not going to be Will Ospreay, as we see him like kind of struggling and trying to be a babyface, like going against the Don Callis family. He's like, I don't want you guys to do these dirty things. So they're not going to do a babyface versus babyface. Presumably, that's what I'm thinking. So maybe Hangman will come back actually, and we'll have like the final match in between Swerve and Hangman, but this time for the actual championship itself, which would be cool. I am leaning towards, from all the things I've said right now, obviously, Swerve winning. And that's what's best for business, man. Joe made it farther with the title than I thought he ever would. But the way they've been booking everything right now, all the segments, it just feels like Swerve is gonna win too. I mean, like in the last pay-per-view, it didn't seem like it at all. I could see it coming, like a Joe victory coming. But here, it does really look like Swerve is about to take it.
You know what, kiddo? I was going to follow you up with pretty much exactly what you just said. That's why you're the GOAT. So if Swerve wins, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know. You just said it. If Swerve wins, who's next?
Yeah,
It's got to be
yeah.
Hangman. So you just tied it up there very nicely. Boys, AEW Dynasty is on Sunday. And again, we will be in here watching it live on Discord. If you want to watch with us, we're buying the pay-per-view kind of. So, I mean, if you don't want to buy it and you want to come in and chill, watch with us, make sure you become a member of the channel and meet us right here.